Good morning, children. Today we are starting the chapter Our Environment. That one is assignment based video to be sent this week. This is for the 4th week of October. Okay, I have already sent the chapter videos from this chapter Our Environment, but now I am discussing the assignment based videos, and the question answers will be discussed here. So the first question, as you know, what are enzymes? How does it help in the process of decomposition? Yes, everybody knows. Enzymes are chemicals that are produced by the organisms, particularly the exocrine glands. Enzymes are produced inside our body by exocrine glands, but these enzymes are produced by microbes as well, like bacteria and fungi, for example. Bacteria and fungi produces enzymes. These enzymes break down the complex organic molecules into simpler forms. Actually, the role of enzymes are same inside our body or outside the body in the environment. Inside the body, what happens? Enzymes are produced by the exocrine gland. For example, we can say exocrine gland is the digestive gland. We can say the gastric glands. Salivary gland is also an exocrine gland. Okay, because they have duct. That's why they are called ductus glands as well. Okay, these glands produces enzymes which break down the complex organic molecules like carbohydrate, proteins, lipids. All these are complex organic molecules, and they are broken down into simpler forms, easily digestible and absorbable form. That is the function of the enzymes. So enzymes break down the complex organic materials into simpler forms. But the enzymes produced by the microbes like bacteria and fungi, present in the soil. Bacteria and fungi present in the soil. What they do? They also do this. They break down the complex organic materials in the dead bodies of the plants and animals. They break down the complex organic molecules present in the dead bodies of the decaying materials of the plants and animals. And then what? These broken down into simpler minerals, simpler nutrients, and that will dissolve in the soil and thereby enriching the fertility of the soil. That is the important. So enzymes inside our body break down the complex organic materials, and so that the nutrients can be absorbed into the blood, absorbed into the cells, and the respiration can release, energy can take place. But in the soil, these enzymes produced by the microbes like bacteria and fungi, they break down the complex organic materials into simpler forms. Then what? Then these nutrients formed by the breakdown will be dissolved in the soil and enrich the fertility of the soil, thereby promoting nutrient cycling in the nature. The nutrients will be cycled from the organisms. When they die, what happens? These nutrients will come to the soil. Again the plants absorb it. Plants provide this food to the animals. When plants and animals die, they decompose. Again, go to the soil. Again the nutrients will be recycled. So this type of recycling of nutrients takes place in the nature. That is the importance of this enzymes. So enzymes helps in the decomposition of the organic material, and the nutrients will be added to the soil so that the nutrient will increase in the soil, increasing and enhancing the fertility of the soil. Plants absorb it. So nutrient cycle goes on in the nature. You got the first point? So you can short up this and write the main points from it. So what is the core point of this? Enzymes are chemicals which break down the complex organic molecules into simpler soluble forms. That is the role of enzyme. Now what do the enzymes do in decomposition? Yes, enzymes break down the organic material present in the dead bodies of the plants and animals during decomposition and increase the nutrient contents in the soil, thereby enhancing the what we call nutrient cycling. Okay, clear. Now the second one. Give examples for natural and man-made ecosystem. You know, natural ecosystems are ecosystems produced in the nature, normally in the nature. For example, river is natural ecosystem. A normal, naturally formed pond is a natural ecosystem. A grassland, a part of the forest, all this can be the naturally created, you know, ecosystem. We can say prairies, grasslands, you can say the forest, rivers, all this can be naturally made ecosystems. Okay? At the same time, the human-made ecosystems we call man-made ecosystem or artificial ecosystems, which are made by human being. For example, we can say the crop field, paddy field, a newly dug pond, aquariums, gardens. All these are artificial or man-made or human-made ecosystems. What is the difference between these two? Natural ecosystems are naturally surviving and stable. They are stable than the artificial or man-made ecosystems. Because in the nature, forest, for example, we can say they contain different types of species. Even 1 or 2 or 3 species die due to diseases. The other species will survive. So stability is more. But in man-made ecosystems like paddy field, crop field, garden, only limited number of species will be grown. Limited number of crops are grown. Paddy field, paddy only. Wheat field only, wheat are grown. If they are destroyed by pathogen, the entire paddy or the wheat will be destroyed and the ecosystem will be stabilized. So stability is less. So stability is more in the natural ecosystem, whereas stability is comparatively less in the man-made ecosystems. You got it? So what is an ecosystem? Ecosystem is a small area, a small piece of land where biotic and abiotic factor interact each other and sustain the life. So a part of the nature where biotic and abiotic component interact each other. There is an interaction of biotic and abiotic components. Such interacting unit of abiotic and biotic components is called ecosystem. The study of ecosystem, ecology. Ecology is the study of ecosystem or study of the nature. We got it very clear. Now, we are coming to the third question. What are trophic levels? Before studying the trophic levels, you must understand what is a food chain. You have already studied a food chain is a series or linear arrangement of organisms. Grass, you can say grasshopper, then frog. This is an example of a food chain. Why it is called an example of food chain? A chain of organisms in the form of linear. It may not be in the linear form, it may be in a different shapes, but usually we write in the linear or straight line. So, food chain is a group of linearly arranged organisms which is eating and being eaten by the other. Or the organisms, a group of organisms arranged on the basis of the food relationship. Group of organisms arranged on the basis of food relationship is called the food chain. Here grass is the producer and the grasshopper is the what we call primary consumer. They are herbivore. Here grass is the producer, that is the first trophic level. The second trophic level is always herbivores. These are eating the grass, hence herbivores. They are the primary consumer. And here the secondary consumer comes, they are small carnivores. Secondary consumers are small carnivores. So in this way, first trophic level is the producer, second trophic level is the herbivore or primary consumer, and the third trophic level here is the primary carnivore or secondary consumer, that is the third trophic level. So trophic levels are the individual steps in the food chain which indicate a particular group of organisms through which energy will be transferred. That is called a food chain. And the trophic levels are the individual steps in the food chain through which energy is transferred from one to another, from first trophic level to second, third, fourth, etc. So this is what is, in which way they are interconnected in a food chain? Yes, they are interconnected in a food chain on the basis of their food relationship. The grass is the producer which is being eaten by the grasshopper, then it get the energy from the grass. When the grasshopper is eaten by the frog will get the food and energy from the grasshopper. In this way, the food is flowing from trophic level to trophic level. In this way, we can say the food chains are interconnected through food relationships. Such interconnected food chains or interconnected steps in the food chain we call trophic levels. You got this? That's all from this initial video. Thank you.